Hey friends. So did you know that people, undiagnosed autistic people are a lot more likely to attempt suicide? So studies have shown that 10% of people who have died by suicide have elevated characteristics of autism. And autistic folks have 11 times higher of a rate of death by suicide than the general population. And 66% of autistic folks think about suicide, and 35% have attempted. So when we hear people talk about, like, why is it that so many people think they have autism, and why are all these adults getting diagnosed or evaluated for autism? I encourage us to consider that not having a diagnosis or not understanding yourself as autistic or neurocomplex can lead to significant mental health challenges, and can make folks far more likely to contemplate or complete death by suicide. And diagnosis is not necessary. It's not something that everybody needs. But for a lot of people, what it can give them is permission to stop questioning themselves and their differences, their complexity, their challenges, and their sensitivities. It can help them to make sense of experiences where previously they may have just resorted to, there must be something wrong with me. And when we feel like something is wrong with us, we are far more likely to experience thoughts of hopelessness and suicidal ideation and attempts and self-harm. So I really just wanted to share that information and encourage folks that if you are someone who wonders, who has a question mark, who is interested in knowing more about your own neurotype, because we all have a neurotype, whether we're autistic or not, or anything in between. We all have a neurotype. We all have neurocomplexity. We live in a very ableist world that has told us there is one acceptable neurotype and that everything else is not acceptable. And that's what leads to these statistics playing out in the way that they do. And when we can explore and embrace and understand ourselves, whether it's through a formal evaluation or something very informal, like a self-diagnostic tool, it can give us the opportunity to understand ourselves and others better and to interrupt that ableist um, societal construct of acceptable or not, based off of your neurotype. We know that there are incredible and meaningful contributions that neurocomplex folks offer, and that through an affirming lens, a neuro complex affirming lens, we can support and accommodate for the ways in which society may not support neurocomplex folks. And we can often decrease some of that symptomology that is what's typically the diagnostic criteria for some of these neurocomplexities, is just symptoms of living in an unaccommodated world, right? So my sensitivities to lights are not going to show up as much if I don't have to spend every day in fluorescent lighting. That's just one example. So understanding your neurotype, understanding your neurocomplexity, and understanding and having grace for the existence of other neurotypes can be so helpful to our own mental health and to our collective mental health. And I have come across a wonderful resource that is very accessible. It's only $22, and it has been put together by a woman named Dr. Colleen Sierra. I've gone through it myself, and it was something that I was able to bring to the psychologist who I'm doing evaluation with, and it was so helpful for me to be able to, particularly as a high masking assigned female at birth person, it was really helpful for me to see where those nuances are that are not in the sort of stereotypical presentation that we've been given of neurocomplexity and autism. So I really encourage you to check it out, get more information for yourself. And if you're feeling alone in any of this, please reach out for support. If you yourself are struggling with thinking about suicide or self-harming, please reach out for support. I'll put the 988, which is the crisis line that's available in the US. And then if you're not in the US, please reach out to any crisis services that are available in your area. You are not alone. Neurocomplexity is not mean there's anything wrong with you. And you are here for a reason in the way that you are here. And I, for one, love you very much. Okay.